name is Alyssa.
My name is Alicia.
And today we are doing a reaction / kind of like
a breakdown.
Yeah, a breakdown of the new Frozen 2 trailer.
And Frozen 2 in general.
Yes. Because there's official trailer 1, official trailer 2, the teasers, and they all have like different content. So,
yes, let's jump in.
We'll be covering all of that.
Awesome. So, part 1, the Enchanted Forest.
Yeah. So apparently we're gonna get to see Elsa and Anna as little girls. And
more flashbacks and tragic backstories. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be super cool because we get to see more of like the family dynamic of King Agnar and Queen Iduna. I think that's really, really cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of mystery around the parents in the first movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like we didn't really see enough of them, which is why I'm glad we get to see more of them in this one.
Exactly.
2 things I do want to highlight is I think there will be a song with Queen Iduna and the girls. That's my personal opinion. Like a lullaby sort of thing. In trailer 2, it shows her at the window and the northern lights are showing in the background, which I'm just saying would be like the perfect backdrop for like a song sort of thing. You know what I mean?
She shows up a lot.
Yes. And the next thing, which segues into our Enchanted Forest thing, is King Agnar, that we're going to get to find out where he came from, like as a boy.
Well, his father was a king. We know that. But Queen Iduna wasn't born into royalty either.
Yes.
So we get to explore all of that and hopefully more in Frozen 2.
Yes. And another thing that I thought was interesting. So we're going to have this like whole new like tribe of people.
Yeah.
That is joining Frozen 2.
Just an entire clan, basically.
Yes. And that clan is called the North Holdra. I think I said it correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I have my theories about them because it seems that they know about magic, as you see in the trailer.
Yeah. It seems like they're very familiar with magic.
They're very familiar with magic. They ask Elsa later on in the trailer,
Where did you learn your magic?
And keyword here, learn, as in like it's a taught thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm wondering because they talk about it like it's a skill you can harness.
Yes.
But is it a skill that you're born with or...
Yes, exactly.
Wondering.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if Anna was able to like harness some sort of magical power, I think that would be super cool.
You know, there are lots of theories about Anna harnessing a magical power, and people have been wanting that for like forever.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's not going to happen. But they are going to test the dynamics of the relationship between Anna and Elsa.
Yes.
There's quite a bit of foreshadowing inside the trailer. Foreshadowing is my favorite thing.
Well, we see them a lot together.
Yes.
A lot. They're together when they meet those people, the tribe. Oh, I love that part when Anna says, I climbed up the North Mountain, I survived the frozen heart, and I saved you from my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
So she's just like kind of sticking to Elsa like glue, like she used to before. And Elsa's going along with it, hopefully.
But you see, there are a few things in the trailer, like for example, I'll protect her. That Anna says.
She says, I'll protect her in the first official trailer.
Yes.
And then in the second,
she says,
Abby is warning Anna that magic is very alluring.
Yes.
And that if Anna doesn't help Elsa, then she'll be lost to the magic. Which I thought was interesting because it made me think about the first movie and how Elsa was like scared of her powers.
Yes.
And then in Let It Go, she kind of like embraces them and she's like, wow.
She still had the underlying fear there.
Yes, she had some fear. That's why she was staying away. But she was in awe of what she was doing. And I always found it like so weird that she was just so ready to like cut off her past life completely. just like stay up there in the mountains forever. She literally tells Anna in the first movie, go back to Arendelle. Like, I'm never gonna see you again. And so I think that represents the allure of magic. Just being able to see what you can do, but being alone.
Well, I feel like Elsa will be faced with some sort of important decision in the movie.
Like some sort of offer.
That will cause her to choose between one thing or the other.
Her family and her leadership versus discovering magic. And maybe staying with these people and learning their ways.
Yes, or other characters that have magical powers.
Let's talk about that.
We'll talk about
Let's
later.
talk about that.
I have one more thing to say before we move on to that. So the other thing I was going to say, with going back to the foreshadowing, is that there are places where Elsa is completely alone inside the trailers.
Yeah.
Like and then there's one spot where Anna is alone as well. Anna's alone with Olaf inside that little ice boat as they go off the waterfall. And then also Elsa's alone in running off in the ocean, which I believe it has to do with their parents' death because she's running across the ocean. So I feel like they have to uncover.
So she's trying to like overcome her fear of the ocean, maybe?
No, I feel like more it's like their parents died in the ocean. So I feel like their parents' deaths, I feel like there's foul play.
Oh.
I feel like that was... Yes. I feel like that was done on purpose. Like, I feel like the parents were looking for something.
What?
And then the something killed them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd never thought about that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can see.
And then connecting this with something else, there's a Kelpie.
Yes.
Inside the trailer.
And that's that water.
If in case you're wondering what that weird water horse thing is, it's part of a Scottish myth. It's called a Kelpie, and they say that Kelpies usually they look like horses, but they can also take a human form.
Yeah, they appear in all sorts of forms, but the most common one is the horse.
Yes. And so they're used as symbols of warning to warn people to stay away from dangerous stretches of water. So this Kelpie could be a big key to finding out about their past.
Well,
because it could be protecting this ocean.
Something that like I saw and I grabbed onto was that at the end, Elsa kind of like, well, she's in the water and she like shoots like some blasting power towards the Kelpie. And then at the end of the scene, we see her harness the Kelpie and actually ride it.
Yes.
So she's kind of like growing into her power and, you know, gaining control
I feel like that wasn't a willing thing though.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't think the Kelpie wanted to do it. We'll see, because
we
don't know for sure that the Kelpie talks or not. Because right now, it just isn't saying anything.
Well, let's talk about the other magical creatures, because I am very intrigued.
Okay.
There's those giant rock things.
Yes.
They look awesome. But it seems like, I don't know if they're good or bad or whatever. It seems like Elsa and Anna are afraid of them. Yeah, it does seem like they get separated.
They get separated by something. See, like, normally I would lean towards Anna's kidnapped or something like that.
No.
But I feel like that's too much of an easy route.
They
somehow get separated. And Elsa goes to look for this answer on her own. Mm-hmm. Or find someone or something.
I'm wondering, like, what happens to Kristoff? Does he join them later? Or does he get split off from them too?
Yes, that's also a good question. A few notes about Kristoff is that I noticed he's wearing a new outfit. I'm sorry, I had to put that in there because he wore the same outfit for he wore.
No, at the beginning of the trailer, he's wearing a bathrobe.
Yeah, he was. No, it was like a suit sort of thing.
No, it was a bathrobe.
Oh well. Anyways, whatever it was, he was wearing a new suit, which was really awesome.
And then later, he wears a new mountain.
Yes.
Hiking gear suit.
That makes me so happy. It's like he's come so far.
That boy is looking fine.
So yeah, that about Kristoff. We see the herd of reindeer.
Yeah.
With Sven, which I feel like there's a deeper meaning to that as well. Because you know how it's a common trope in these movies to have like temptations and hallucinations of sorts.
Yeah.
I feel like Sven is also going to be. I feel like each of them is going to be faced with a sort of decision that they have to make.
Each of them.
Yes.
So each of them is going to be faced with something, I think, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
That, like, all their responsibilities from the past are taken away. And they have some sort of freedom.
Yeah, well, we don't know what they're finding out. Because they're probably finding out all sorts of things about their past. Which is what I'm going to say.
Kristoff's past.
Yes. There we go! That's what I was getting at.
Yes! Oh my gosh! I hadn't thought of that, but where did he come from?
Exactly.
Because at the beginning of
Frozen Heart.
Yes.
It shows that he's with all those other men doing the
ice harvesters. But it doesn't seem like they're his family.
It doesn't seem like they're his family, and it doesn't seem like it's close to Arendelle. That's another thing. Yeah. It seems like it's close to a forest.
Yes, it's at the edge of a forest.
Yes.
And then he goes in the forest and like follows
and Pabby and Bolda adopt him. But he doesn't know where he comes from, which leads me to my next theory.
That he's going to find his people.
And he may be a bit of like royalty himself. Maybe. That's a little far-fetched, but perhaps. Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
So let's go into the more of the magic sequence.
So when we see the Enchanted Forest, there are 4 stones, and they each have a different symbol. So this leads us to believe that there are 4 elements.
Yes. The symbols look really similar.
So they are different.
They're all like diamonds, and then they have little different intricacies
inside.
Yeah. Like whether it's like a circle or like a line or things like that.
And if you notice, they go through this archway when the mist parts and whatever.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot of Brave.
Yes.
With the rocks that were around.
That.
It gave me a little bit of that vibe. So I think these rocks will definitely mean something. And going back to the beginning of the trailer when King Agnar lived in the Enchanted Forest, he said that something went wrong. I feel like someone overstepped a boundary that had to do with magic or a tradition or something.
Maybe.
Which then shut them off from the rest of the world.
I'm wondering, because you mentioned like that foul play in their death.
Yes.
When Pabby conjures up these images and says that she has to answer whatever is calling Elsa, it shows them like shaking hands, but then it shows them going to war with each other.
Yes.
2 different groups. And so it's like they made an agreement, but then they broke it. Like you said, someone overstepped a boundary.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering what that was and like how it happened.
But we all know.
And maybe they were somehow involved in their death.
Yes. But we all know that that one of the reasons why this has been like, it's not directly said in Frozen, but the reason why King Agnar and Queen Iduna left was to find answers.
Yes.
For Elsa's powers and all that sort of stuff. To help her across the sea, which is probably the very same sea that Elsa's running across.
Yeah.
So
how many seas are there?
Yeah, really? That's true. But anyways, yes, back to the rocks. Those 4 symbols also show up in another part of the movie.
You mean
more in the beginning of the trailer? Yes, because I haven't seen the movie. I wish.
Hey.
When Elsa feels that calling, and then she does like this, and then all these little ice crystals show up.
There are little.
They all have the little symbols on them, and there are only 4 symbols once again. Mm-hmm. So those 4 elements. Ice is one of them, obviously.
Yes.
And then we see.
So
yes,
there's several scenes with this magical fire thing.
It's like pink, reddish fire.
Yeah, it's a magical fire. That's what we're gonna say.
And then also there's the wind.
Yes, the wind. There's that girl. In the beginning of the Enchanted Forest scene, and then later in the Enchanted Forest scene,
there's a little girl playing with the wind, and you can only see if you like really paying attention. You're really paying attention to it, because anyone could say like it's just the wind, but haha, she is the wind. There you go.
In the beginning, she's playing with the wind, and there's like this string of leaves that's following her.
Yes.
But then later,
It's like a
this
really,
little
really
kid-
quick flashback.
This little kid, which I think is her brother, he looks back, like, smiling, and there she is, like, kind of, like, lifted up by the wind. She's just riding it.
She's just playing in it. But that's when she's older.
Yes, that's when she's older.
Mm-hmm. And so that's part of that tribe. So that can tell you as to where that magic, like where they know, why they know about magic.
I'm wondering why. I'm wondering, like, what is their relationship with magic? Like, obviously they're familiar with it, but do they fear it, and do they embrace it? I feel like maybe at the beginning they embraced it, but then, like, somebody did something, and now they're, like, fearful of it.
You know, I actually have mixed feelings about that, because I feel like there are probably going to be 3 different entities or people that have these different powers. Yeah. We already had those rock golems type of thing. That will be like a nature of the earth type of thing, sort of, you know?
Yeah, but I think those are just magical creatures. Do you think they're controlled by something?
Yes, because if you think back to Marshmallow, Elsa could create sentient creatures with her powers.
Oh, and all those little
she created guys. All the little snowman guys in Frozen Fever, and Snowball. And Marshmallow and Olaf. I'm getting all these snow names mixed together.
Yeah,
today.
So she
created them.
Oh,
Olaf was unintentional. Yeah. Marshmallow was not unintentional.
Mm-hmm.
And so the little sneeze guys were unintentional as well. But if she can create sentient powers, who's to say that the other people with powers can't create sentient
And I definitely
creatures?
noticed that. In the last part of the trailer, Olaf is like, so are we going to make this a regular thing? Just, like, putting ourselves in mortal danger?
Yeah.
And then the rocks start following him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first he sees the Kelpie in the water.
Yes.
And it's like, nay! And then he gets scared. And then there are all those rock things that are following him. And if you look closely at the beginning of that section, there's a little fire thing in the air. Like, it's kind of like following him.
Tiny fire thing moving in the air following him. So that could also lead to, like, different fire sentient creatures as well.
And this brings me to the next thing. Who is this fire? Is the fire controlled by a person? I think that it is. And are their intentions good or bad? I feel like the trailer is created in a way that makes us think that the fire is the problem, like the start of the problem, but maybe it's not. That's how it works usually.
Maybe it's not. My theory is more that, like, maybe one of the magical beings that harnesses one of these powers is, like, on the good side, as we would call it per se. Maybe one of them is more, like, in the middle, and another one is more, like, on the antagonist side of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it could go either way. Like, if one of them maybe was shunned because of their powers, they could go off the deep end because of that, and one of them was maybe embraced, then it could be different. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, there's a part with a twister.
Yes. That would go along with the wind.
The wind, yeah.
The wind. And if you can see...
So would that be a sentient being? Or would it just be an element of nature? That's what I'm wondering.
I'm thinking that would be a sentient being. Like, I'm thinking... do you mean, like, the tornado itself?
Yes.
Oh, no. I think that someone created it. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That part with the fire where it's, like, bouncing and from tree to tree.
Then it creates that...
The thingy.
Yeah, it lights
I want to say it was someone bouncing with it. Maybe? Because it's, like, big enough that a person could jump and create it. But then again, it could just be someone, like, doing something with their hands and making it do that.
I feel like they're controlling it from afar.
Yeah.
From, like, a few feet away, maybe.
Yeah.
Because it didn't look like there was a person.
It's interesting, but obviously Elsa is drawn to these things.
She wants to find out.
Obviously, she ran into the fire, which Anna was angry about, and I don't blame her at all. Because, yeah, you don't run into fire. Especially when your element is ice. That's, like, really, really not smart.
Yeah.
So, obviously, she's drawn to them, and she wants to seek answers from them.
Exactly. She wants answers, and she also wants people like her. I mean, it has to be lonely, being the only one that has the magical power.
Yeah. There are lots of interesting theories out there. There are lots of people saying that that little girl at the end with the little reindeer.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that that's Kristoff and Anna's child in the future, and that that's one of Sven's
I feel
progeny.
like that is
But
far-fetched.
I feel like that's really far-fetched, even though a lot of people are saying that. I don't think it's going to have any future
I thought,
flashbacks.
because there are lots of people behind that little girl, I thought that was them being welcomed back into Arendelle. You know, kind of merging their countries or their clans. I think that would be cool. And that's what I'm hoping to see. If these people are actually good. But they seem okay.
Wasn't Queen Iduna a child of the Northern Nomads?
Yes.
Oh. Okay,
so this is the perfect lead-in. We're actually in Frozen Junior, the musical. The reason why she knows that is because that is one of my lines. I'm Queen Iduna. And I say, I'm a child of the Northern Nomads. And so Queen Iduna is a child of the Northern Nomads. You're right.
And so these would be the Northern Nomads. Because
Yes.
it says as far north as you can go.
Exactly.
And they're nomads. So Queen Iduna is a child
Yeah, I
of one
already
of
thought of
those.
that.
And
Definitely.
King Agnar may or may not be a part of it.
No,
I'm
'cause
thinking no,
no.
because he's son of the king.
So, okay. So maybe it was like, maybe their marriage was supposed to join these clans. But then something happened and somebody like broke it off.
Yeah.
And then like maybe that's the foul play where their death comes into play.
Yeah. That would make a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
And also knowing that about Queen Iduna, because the thing
And so
is,
the magical powers would come from Queen Iduna.
yes,
from
they
her
would
line.
come. They would come from Queen Iduna's line, because we obviously see that magic has been passed down or
Yeah,
something.
it's like hereditary.
inside of the Northern
Maybe.
Nomads, like the
Mm-hmm.
North Holdra. So I feel like that's a very, very good theory right there.
And by the way, I'm also the Oaken mom.
Woohoo!
And
we get to see Oaken
Oh,
for
yeah,
like 2
yeah.
seconds in
He
the
was
trailer.
there.
That made me so happy. I
and
lived
so
for
was
that.
the butler.
Oh yeah,
The one
yeah,
that
the
says
butler.
the Duke of Weaseltown.
Yes,
He's there.
So far, we don't see the Duke in
No, we don't.
the trailer at all.
I don't think he is there.
But he lives in like a different place, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think something I can't something I can predict that I pretty much know for sure is I don't think Hans is gonna make a reappearance in
yeah, I
Frozen 2.
hope not.
I don't think so, because it doesn't unless there's
I
something.
saw this one guy in the trailer that looked like Hans, and I was like, double take. But I don't think that it's him because it was with one of those leaders of the clan.
Yeah. I feel like there's no real reason for him to stick around.
Yeah, there's not. Except for that fun part in Frozen Fever, where that
Yeah,
bugle
the-
sends him that huge
The
snowball
birthday bugle horn.
while
yeah.
he's scooping up horse dung.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
That was
But-
funny. But there's no real reason for him to tie back into the plot.
We don't need Hans anymore.
So I don't feel like
and good
it's
thing, I was
necessary.
kind of sick of that
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
Oh, Anna. If only someone loved you.
So, yeah, I feel like that's a really, really...
So there's a lot
Yeah.
that they've given us. Honestly, I was so happy because we got a really long trailer. It was really long.
Yes, and very suspenseful. I mean, that music in the background, I'm living for that. And the costumes. Did you see Queen Elsa's dresses?
Yes.
We saw like 3 in the whole movie.
Queen Elsa is rocking like
Her hair!
When
that
her
one,
hair is
that
down.
one section where her
Oh
hair is
my
down. It's like there's
gosh.
so much power infused in that
And
scene. I
she's like,
cannot wait to see it.
wow. It's so cool. And
Her
she-
little bodysuit thing that she goes swimming with.
But when her
And then
hair is
Anna
down,
as well, her new cloak
It's
and her
so
new
awesome.
hairdo and with the sword and everything. Okay, I love it. It's
Yeah, Anna
so
looks
good.
way more mature in her new look. The colors are less bright. They're more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're darker, they're more serious. And she's
Yeah, it's like they're upping their game with this
Mhm.
one. And if you're like really into like seeing the magic that happens behind the movies and you pay attention to the animation, which I do, which is why I'm bringing this up. The hair and water and ice looks so realistic
Yes.
and just absolutely stunning.
everything looks amazing.
Oh my goodness, it's so incredible, and I love it.
Yeah.
We have some information about the new characters and voice cast for Frozen 2. And this will kind of shed some light on a few of the people.
So it says that King Agnar is the son of King
Runiard. And it says King Agnar is married to Queen Iduna and is Anna and Elsa's father. He loves his family and would do anything to ensure his daughter's well-being and safety.
Notice he would do anything.
Yes.
Anything.
Those definitives are like really important, you know.
Oh, so I just thought of this. What if they wanted to take the daughters away to teach them magic? And that's why whatever happened.
That's also a possibility. There are so many possibilities for that.
There are so
But
many.
I always suspected foul play on the part of like Queen Iduna and King
I never
King
did,
Agnar.
honestly. And you know how there's a theory that they're the parents of Tarzan
Yeah.
because of the shipwreck and all?
Yeah.
I feel like that may be dismantled in this movie.
Yes, that's also a very...
That's going to be interesting.
Then next we have Yelena. It says the unspoken leader of the nomadic North Huldra. And we saw her. She said the word impossible.
Yeah.
In the trailer.
She looked like very worn. You know what I mean? She looked like very tired.
I love her hair. It's like this like long...
No, there's no doubt she's beautiful.
Oh.
She just looks like the weight of leadership has really worn her down.
Well, it says the unspoken leader. Usually nomadic communities don't really have a set
It says
leader.
she is fiercely protective of her family and community, but is known to soften when people show an understanding of nature and their environment.
Next we have Honey Marin, which I believe Honey Marin is the
wind girl
who's in charge of the wind.
Mm-hmm. And it says a member of the North Huldra. Honey Marin is a true spirit and wants nothing more. True free spirit. And wants nothing more than to bring peace to the enchanted forest.
This implies there is not peace in the enchanted forest. There we go.
They just come out and attack them. So I'm wondering, how did they figure out that they were there? They can't have been waiting for an attack. So how did they figure out that
they were there? They're probably trapped in such a small space for such a long time that they just like know their surroundings so well.
Oh,
you know
okay.
What I mean? Yeah.
And it says she is bold and brave, with a reverence for the magic of nature.
A reverence for the magic of nature.
The
magic of nature. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Ryder is Honey Marin's brother.
Yeah, so
that's the little boy that you saw.
That he looks back.
He looks back at her and she's like playing in the wind.
Yeah.
And he says he embraces life with optimism and his love of reindeer might just rival Kristoff's. Which I feel like that's going to be really fun to see. That's going to be really fun to see. It says that he's never roamed the Great Plains outside of the Enchanted Forest. He longs to embrace the world and venture beyond the magical mist.
And then there's Bruni.
Okay, this I'm really excited about.
Bruni, curious and cute, this salamander inhabits the Enchanted Forest.
Yes!
Though shy at first, Bruni can't help but be drawn to Elsa's icy magic and enjoys the cool snowflake treats.
I want a Bruni, like
She's
now.
She's so cute. Is it a she?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
I don't know. It's a salamander.
It's a salamander.
And it is so adorable. It's this tiny little thing, and it's just lapping up these little snowflakes.
It's so adorable. I just can't. It's so cute. Oh. I think that wraps up all the theories that we have for today. There's so many more things that I'm thinking of right now as we speak, and I had no idea, like, you didn't know some of the things that I brought up, you know? That's pretty cool. But this
has been fun.
Yes, it has
been fun.
There's
so much, and I'm hoping that maybe something that I guessed will be right. We'll have to do a video maybe following up and see if any of our theories were right.
Yeah.
Please comment and tell us what your theories are.
Yes.
So we can maybe...
We'd love to hear them.
Yeah, we can do that. We can talk about our theories.
Subscribe and like this video for more, and we will see you next time.
Mwah.